While some find quiet INFJs uninteresting and monotonous, others find them beautiful. What else does a quiet INFJ possess that attracts others outside their inherent enigma? Here are 10 characteristics of a calm INFJ that make them incredibly alluring. Number 10. They speak less and listen more. People's moods and confidence are lifted by the INFJ's capacity to listen more than they speak, and they feel heard and respected. Therefore, this alone can account for why individuals find silent INFJs to be incredibly alluring. They are also okay with supporting others' achievements while remaining silent. They're content with being the one buddy who will always be there for you. Rather than focusing on individual accomplishment, these bright beings work for collective success. If they cannot elevate others, they will not regard themselves as good mentors, leaders, coworkers, or employees. Individuals only view themselves as effective employees when they significantly and clearly contribute to their company. In a similar vein, they only regard themselves as exceptional leaders when they are able to guide their followers to success. This is why they are always trying to help others grow, whether it is by teaching them discipline or motivating them by giving them enough credit. Number 9. They are aware of how, when, and what to focus their attention and time on. Because they wish to maintain their calm, the peaceful INFJ is the last to get involved in other people's turmoil. They are also the last to be pulled to negativity because they quickly dissociate their emotions from pointless fights as opposed to getting aroused. They are able to live a more tranquil and fulfilling life than the majority of people thanks to this level of emotional detachment. They focus their mental energy on issues that are more important, including those that can make them happy and fulfill them, rather than those who might expose children to poison and negativity. Pessimistic and depressed persons are not appealing. However, because quiet INFJs set limits and remain unperturbed in the midst of everyone's turmoil, mature and optimistic people seek them out for companionship. Knowing when to engage in conflict as an acquired INFJ entails self-care. Number 8. They are happy with who they are. Quiet INFJs are happy with who they are. And if they try to compete, it will be with themselves rather than with others. By making an effort to be better than they were in the past, individuals develop their character and skills. They evolve out of ingrained bad behaviors, conquer concerns that hold them back from reaching their objectives, and accept new perspectives. INFJs are modest and reserved people who seek to improve on their current self rather than competing with others. It encourages kids to become more productive and autonomous over time. They will seem professional and composed rather than disjointed and people-pleasing, and they won't come across as being unduly competitive or consumed with other people's lives. Number 7. Before they talk, they give it serious thought. If you've ever met someone who is so thoughtful, quiet, and deliberate with their words, they're probably an INFJ. INFJs rarely talk without giving it some thought. They seldom ever make insensitive remarks with the intention of offending others. And because they know they are right, they do not apologize if they offend someone. They simply said the unpopular truth, which no one wants to hear. This is what makes them even more alluring to smart and like-minded individuals. INFJs are in high demand by successful people due to their outspokenness and tactfulness. They respect them for carefully considering their words before speaking them since, as always, words have just as much power as acts. INFJs aren't having a hard time with this, though. They won't mind being silent for a little while. They won't mind if you don't answer right away as long as you mean what you say. Does this imply that, as an INFJ, you've never made an unplanned statement? Number 6. They display admirable restraint. For instance, silent INFJs have figured out how to anchor themselves in self-control. These clever beings know that tenacity and patience are always required for things that are worth their time and effort. Because of this, individuals get to reap the benefits of delayed gratification. They achieve bigger results by first overcoming and going through the pains of self-discipline. Simply put, they put their obligations before all else in the hopes of someday enjoying more free time. Because of this, they are inspiring and influential to people who share their goal. People view a successful, quiet INFJ's capacity for restraint in exchange for more fulfilling rewards as evidence that their efforts will ultimately be effective. Number 5. They don't make a great deal of trivial matters. The issue about contemplative INFJs is that they are quiet. They reflect on daily events and determine which will matter in the long run from those that won't. For the quiet INFJ, worrying is a never-ending loop since they recognize that it comes from a need for control that they don't have. They don't care what people think of them, thus they don't care how social situations turn out. And are people's different points of view important? Obviously not. INFJs are less anxious and worried in social situations than people pleasers are. As a result, they have no desire to control everything in their environment, since the majority of it is out of their control and probably irrelevant. Regardless of how much they apologize, they are aware that they cannot alter how others treat them. They are aware that they cannot prevent rumors about them from spreading. They are more attractive than the outspoken people pleasers because of their social approach. How do you decide whether something is important enough to worry about as an INFJ? Number 4. Despite being persistent, they are modest. INFJs have succeeded in their careers by working extra hard to accomplish their objectives. These tenacious, independent, and down-to-earth achievers know what they're doing and are willing to go to great lengths to realize their goals. They are particularly desirable in business and professional contexts. Because of this, the capacity to work without grumbling and do duties satisfactorily even when no one is looking is something brilliant minds would applaud. Likewise, their superiors would admire their capacity for initiative. INFJs that are silent perform well on their own. These characteristics distinguish them from others who merely want to perform the bare minimum. Number 3. They have little trouble taking responsibility for their errors. Anyone who is serene, contemplative, and peaceful may assess their mental state. This is why reserved INFJs don't have any trouble owning and accepting full responsibility for their biases, prejudices, and any potential logical flaws. INFJs are conscious of their mistakes and will work to change their conduct due to their emotional maturity. Additionally, they acknowledge that their perspectives contain biases and defects and take responsibility for them. They are aware of how their worldview affects both their personal and professional relationships, so they can improve by taking responsibility for and dealing with these disputes. Anyone who does not assign blame to others when things go wrong will be attracted to them. It makes sense that the calm INFJ will be admired for having a spirit of accountability and humility rather than whining about their circumstances. Is it really that simple to take responsibility for your ideas and deeds as an INFJ? Number 2. They provide a sense of security. Because they feel secure and at ease with them, people find a calm INFJ attractive. They don't experience prejudice or discrimination, and they believe INFJs would never purposefully hurt others. Because INFJs are aware of their actions to avoid offending others, people feel more at ease around them. Anyone can feel at ease with the INFJ because of their capacity to uphold their beliefs and values, in particular, their loved ones. Most people respect INFJs for their ability to maintain their integrity in the face of societal pressure. They remain true to their principles and make an effort to align their behaviors with them, regardless of the lifestyle, habits, and attitudes of their peers. INFJs face temptations every day and everywhere. So it follows that INFJs are the last to evaluate someone unfairly and speak negatively about them. Number 1. They are very sympathetic. INFJs are sympathetic. People's minds can be calmed by nature. Who wouldn't want to interact with someone who affirms their feelings? People are amazed by how quickly quiet INFJs make them feel comfortable in their company. They value how INFJs make them feel at ease with the way they approach their difficulties. Even if they have only recently engaged with someone for a day or a week, INFJs are able to identify their feelings. INFJs display empathy and concern for others in ways that go above and beyond merely comprehending what they have gone through because of their intuitive nature. Without having to ask, INFJs can distinguish between melancholy, despair, and disappointment in other people's facial expressions. They are skilled at interpreting cues, picking up on unsaid emotions, and understanding body language. People have never seen anything like what INFJs do, thus this won't go unnoticed. But does having a strong capacity for empathy automatically improve your social interactions? As an INFJ, given their calming energy, INFJs will inevitably draw in other people, drew to them simply because of who they are. Or is it just that they stand to benefit from having the INFJ around?